Dames en here, die akademiese prosesie sal binnekort inbeweeg. U word versoek om asseblief op te staan.
Bomma le bontate, molokoloko wa dirutegi o tla tsena mo nakong e kopana. Le kgopelwa ho ema. Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will enter shortly. You're kindly requested to stand.
By the power vested in me, I hereby constitute this assembly as a legal congregation of the University of Pretoria. During this assembly, degrees, diplomas, and certificates with all the associated rights and privileges will be conferred and awarded to the candidates whose names appear in the program. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements of our students. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Loretta Ferris and I'm the Vice Principal of the University of Pretoria. And on behalf of the University, I would like to extend a hearty word of welcome to all of you at this graduation ceremony. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Dean, Professor Nguni, the Deputy Dean, Professor Ferreira, the Acting Deputy Dean, Professor Wasserman, the Deputy Director for Student Recruitment and Enrollment, Mr. Isaacs, all chairpersons of schools, all heads of departments, directors, all of our emerita and honorary professors, and all of our lecturers and their partners. I would also like to acknowledge the representative of the Students' Representative Council, Zinhle Mankhane, who will present the SRC Academic Honorary Colors. And then, of course, to all persons to whom degrees, diplomas, and certificates will be conferred and awarded this afternoon, as well as all spouses, partners, parents, and other parties, as well as dignitaries of whom we may not be aware of. Graduation is always a special time for any university because it's a moment in which we celebrate the achievements of our students. And so those of you that are graduating today, this is not just about receiving a qualification. That much we know. It is about years of determination and resilience that carried you to this moment. And so whether you are graduating today with a certificate, a diploma, a bachelor's degree, an honors degree, a master's degree, or whether you're wearing a red gown and you are getting a doctorate degree, your achievement is significant. To our doctoral graduates, you have expanded the boundaries of knowledge in education. You have contributed to a unique area, and you've created new knowledge in a discipline that is of profound importance, not just for South Africa, but to every single country that is invested in the education of its people. To our master's and honors graduates, you've developed expertise that will strengthen schools, communities, and institutions. And to our undergrads, you are stepping into classrooms where your words, your actions, and your care will change lives. Education is ultimately about knowledge, but it is also about influence, and it is about inspiration and hope. I think you can ask any student at the university, and they will point to at least one teacher who's made a difference in their lives. And so you now have the responsibility to shape not only what learners know, but also who they become. You are fortunate, however, in that you are graduating from one of the best education faculties in this country. The Faculty of Education is built on 3 pillars. Firstly, excellence in teaching and learning, preparing reflective and responsive educators. Secondly, research and innovation, seeking out new solutions for the challenges of our times, particularly, of course, in education. And then thirdly, community engagement and impact, to ensure that education extends far beyond lecture halls, reaching into the lives of communities. And these 3 pillars are the compass that guided your journey here, and hopefully will remain the values that should guide your path forward. Over the past few years, the Faculty of Education has strengthened its reputation as a teaching, research, and community engagement leader. Our scholars have produced influential work on literacy, on multilingual education, on curriculum transformation, and in this way are shaping national debates. We have deepened partnerships with schools, with governments, with nonprofit organizations, all of it in an effort to address challenges such as teacher development and inclusive education. We've also seen in this faculty remarkable growth in postgraduate enrollments and research outputs. And I think the number of red gowns here today is certainly a testimony to that. As such, we are affirming our place as one of the continent's strongest centers of educational scholarship. And these achievements are part of the foundation on which you, as graduates, now stand. But let me say this, your relationship with this university and with the faculty does not end today. We're now entering into a new partnership, or a pact, so to speak. Our part, the university's part of the pact, is to ensure that your qualification remains one that makes you employable, not just in South Africa, but anywhere in the world. In this regard, the University of Pretoria is proudly counted among the world's leading institutions. In the 2025 QS World University Rankings, UP was ranked 362nd globally and 26th worldwide for international research collaboration. We are in the top 1.9% of universities worldwide and ranked third in South Africa and Africa in the 2024 Webometrics rankings. Why do I refer to these achievements? Because these achievements give your degree international credibility. But its most significant meaning lies in how you use it to strengthen our schools, empower our communities, and provide hope to learners across South Africa and our continent. And that is your part of the pact. Also, keep in mind that your reputation is tied to the reputation of this university. You uplift the University of Pretoria's name when you carry yourself with professionalism, with integrity, and with respect. So guard all of these with vigilance, for your credibility will open doors for you and those who follow after you. So many of our graduates now lead schools, they influence policy, they champion literacy, and they push the boundaries of education research. And that's the path that we hope for you as well. We will endeavor to provide for you as the next generation of alumni opportunities to collaborate with us, opportunities for research, for lifelong learning. In return, we ask you to mentor and inspire the next generation, to collaborate with the faculty in research and innovation, to contribute to outreach that changes lives, to keep learning alive, to advocate for inclusive and quality education, and to support those who will follow in your footsteps. So as you step forward, remember this. The new world you enter is changing quickly. We are in a time that is very dynamic and in some ways very disruptive. And so to thrive, you must be dynamic. You must be open to new ideas, you must be adaptable in your methods, and you must be courageous in your thinking. South Africa and Africa need more than just teachers. We need solution developers, because we know that classrooms are overcrowded, resources are limited, and inequalities remain in this country in particular. But with creativity and commitment, you can design new ways of teaching, reach learners where they are, and turn obstacles into opportunities. This is the chapter where you do not simply join the system, but you help reimagine the system. So graduates of the Faculty of Education, today you take your place as ambassadors of this university and as nation builders of the future. Carry yourself with courage, guard your reputation and our reputation with care, protect the honor of the University of Pretoria, inspire learners, strengthen communities, and let your work light the path for future generations. I congratulate you. Thank you. I now request the Dean to introduce to me the candidates present whose names appear in the program.
Madam Vice Principal, the supervisors will now introduce the doctoral candidates.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Claude Almasud, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Predictors of Online Learning Retention of University Students with Learning Disabilities, prepared under my supervision with Dr. Wilson Fadiji as a co-supervisor. In this thesis, Predictors of Online Learning Retention of University Students with Learning Disabilities, the candidate examined the predictors of online learning retention within a minority population often overlooked in higher education. Using structural equation modeling, the study explored how social, technological, institutional, and motivational factors interact to influence retention among university students with learning disabilities in South Africa. Guided by Bronfron-Brenner's ecological systems theory, the research used a case study design and quantitative approach involving 256 university students with disabilities. Data were collected via self-administered questionnaires and analyzed using descriptive statistics, exploratory and confirmatory factor analysis, and structural equation modeling. The findings revealed that motivational factors mediated the influence of external support, including family, institutional resources, and lecturer engagement. The study culminated in the development and validation of a model of online learning retention, contributing to inclusive education and offering strategic insight to institutions seeking to enhance retention outcome for students with learning disability. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree to the candidate.
I confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce you to Marceline Kanda, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Exploring Teachers' Views on Using Cultural Games in Early Grade Mathematics, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate examined teachers' views on infusing cultural games into teaching and learning mathematics at the early childhood development level. The school curriculum in post-independent Zimbabwe still reflects the Eurocentric way of teaching ECD learners, and such an approach has overshadowed cultural development among Zimbabwean children. The qualitative research methodology using the interpretivist paradigm was used to gather teachers' views and determine how they interpreted the incorporation of cultural games into teaching early grade mathematics. The research design was a multiple case study with interviews, document analysis, photo voice, and observations. The study's major contribution is the Cultural Games Integration Framework for Zimbabwe. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Thank you.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Stuart Karangwa, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Teaching Reading to Learners with Intellectual Developmental Disorders, Practices in the Foundation Phase. In this thesis, Teaching Reading to Learners with Intellectual Developmental Disorders, Practices in the Foundation Phase, the candidate investigated instructional and intervention reading practices utilized by teachers and their effectiveness in supporting learners with mild intellectual developmental disorders in special schools in Gauteng. A parallel convergent mixed method designed incorporating a survey, semi-structured interviews, observations, and document analysis was used to gather data from 68 teachers, 10 principals, and 5 specialists. The conceptual framework integrated the cognitive load theory, universal design for learning model, a multi-tiered support system. The findings suggest that including mixed grouping, multisensory instruction, technology, and game integration is effective. Tailored support based on intellectual level of learners, with parental involvement and flexibility of instructional time was cited as yielding the best results. These findings led to the development of a targeted reading model to support the learners. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you David Kwame Kumado, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Cultural Historical Analysis of the Pedagogy of Learners with Disabilities in Ghanaian Early Childhood Education, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, Cultural Historical Analysis of the Pedagogy of Learners with Disabilities in Ghanaian Early Childhood Education, the candidate used Vygotsky's cultural historical activity theory to explore the impact of teachers' cultural beliefs on the pedagogy of learners with disabilities within an inclusive education framework, framed around the question of how to confront teachers' deep-seated cultural beliefs. The study contributes to identifying barriers to the learning and development of learners with disabilities. The result demonstrates that teachers' beliefs, including their relationships with their learners, change due to growing awareness of pedagogical conditions and as teachers critically examine existing practices, identify obstacles, and envision new culturally situated yet theoretically grounded ways of transforming pedagogy. The study, therefore, recommends the removal of such barriers to learning and development by deconstructing how communities influence teachers' beliefs, thereby promoting the view of disability as a socially constructed and culturally mediated phenomenon that needs to be transformed. Madam Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree to the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Teresa Ann McKay, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Applying the Duty of Care Outside the Formal School Day at Primary Schools in KwaZulu-Natal, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate investigated how primary schools apply their duty of care before and after the formal school day. The study was underpinned by the contextual safeguarding theory and adopted a qualitative approach using the interpretivist paradigm. to better understand the experiences of the participants in the application of the duty of care. 24 participants from 6 primary schools participated in the study. Data were collected through semi-structured interviews and the analysis of documents provided by the participating schools. The findings suggested that contextual factors play an important role in how schools apply their duty of care before and after formal school hours. The participating schools acknowledged that learners' safety is compromised when they are dropped off early or left waiting to be collected after school. As a result, all the participating schools have instituted proactive and reactive measures to mitigate the safety threats to their learners during these times when they are most vulnerable. In addition, the study proposed a contextual safeguarding framework for South African schools. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Lancelot Sibaningi Makanditse, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Teachers' Development of Mathematical Knowledge for Teaching Trigonometric Functions Through Lesson Study, prepared under my supervision and with Professor U.I. Obonaya and Dr. M.J. Leshota as co-supervisors. In this thesis, Teachers' Development of Mathematical Knowledge for Teaching Trigonometric Functions Through Lesson Study, the candidate explored how teachers develop and improve their mathematical knowledge for teaching trigonometric functions through lesson study. The theoretical lens framing this qualitative interpretivist case study was mathematical knowledge for teaching, MKT. Data were collected using observations, document analysis, and semi-structured interviews. The study revealed that lesson study allowed teachers to develop their mathematical knowledge through collaborative lesson planning discussions that incorporated all 6 knowledge domains of MKT of trigonometric functions. By observing and documenting the manifestations of learners' mathematical thinking during lesson presentation and observation, and by critically analyzing the achievement of lesson objectives, refining and realigning previous and future lessons during post-lesson reflection conversations that incorporated all 6 knowledge domains of MKT. Generally, teachers reported gaining content and pedagogical skills in trigonometric functions through participating in lesson study. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Dumisane Simon Mapanga, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Mathematics Teachers' Reflective Practices Within the Lesson Study Context, prepared under my supervision and with Professor U.I. Obonaya as co-supervisor. In this thesis, Mathematics Teachers' Reflective Practices Within the Lesson Study Context, the candidate explored inter alia the learnings acquired by mathematics teachers through post-lesson reflections within the lesson study setting. The candidate was guided by 2 theoretical lenses, social constructivist theory and Gibbs reflective cycle. Data were collected through lesson observation, document analysis, and semi-structured interviews. The findings show that teachers reflect on pedagogical and content knowledge as part of their learning experiences and that teachers benefit from doing post-lesson reflection regarding how learners respond to different teaching methods, which leads to their understanding of mathematics concept and teachers' lesson improvement. Although teachers demonstrated a fair understanding of conducting reflection, their reflections lacked mathematical rigor. To this effect, the framework for post-lesson reflection is proposed. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Thanks.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Eleanor Pukwani Matoli Kiba, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled The Role of Educational Psychologist in Coaching as a Teacher Development Intervention Prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the role of educational psychologists in coaching as a teacher development intervention, the candidate examined the function of educational psychologists in coaching as a teacher development intervention, concentrating on enhancing teaching practices and learning outcomes in South Africa, particularly in Gauteng. Coaching has achieved global recognition for its efficacy in advancing teacher development and augmenting learning results. Nonetheless, South Africa lacks a coherent structure for the efficient implementation of coaching. The findings indicate that educational psychologists assume a varied role in teacher development by performing needs assessments, creating interventions, enabling stakeholder engagement, and offering continuous support. The study promotes a holistic coaching framework that includes educational psychologists to improve instructional methods, teacher quality, and student achievement. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Budibadi Dorothy Mudungwa, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Pokelelo ya Setswana ya kgaso mo barutwaneng ba Setswana puo ya gae mephato ya 11 le 12. This thesis was written in Setswana. This was prepared under my supervision with Dr. Ramahoshi as the co-supervisor. In this thesis, Pokelelo ya kgaso mo barutwaneng ba Setswana puo ya gae mephatong ya 11 le 12, the candidate investigated the impact of language use in Setswana radio and television programs on grade 11 and 12 learners studying Setswana as a home language. The study found that while these programs are popular, presenters frequently code switch and code mix, which can influence the learner's understanding of standard Setswana. Learners analyzed audio clips from media to identify and correct non-standard language usage, including the influences from Pretoria Sotho and dialectal variations. While many demonstrated the ability to recognize incorrect language use, some corrections reflected the same non-standard influences. The study was rooted in Vygotsky's sociocultural theory, and the research highlighted the role of media and educators in language acquisition, especially in township contexts where learners may not speak Setswana at home. The study emphasizes the need for standard African languages in media and education, and it provides recommendations for PENSALP and policymakers to enhance the preservation and promotion of standard Setswana. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Hendrik Petrus Mostert, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with the thesis titled Educators' Lived Experiences of Homophobic Victimization in Independent Secondary Schools, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate elucidated participants' encounters in South Africa. A qualitative phenomenological approach was taken, rooted in Bronfenbrenner's bioecological systems theory and employing an interpretive phenomenological analysis and the Innsbruck vignette research methodology. In phase 1, the analysis yielded 5 main themes: educators' general understandings of homophobic victimization and its expression in the school context, factors that complicate or remediate incidences of homophobia and victimization, illuminated attitudes of educators, school policies and mitigating strategies to raise awareness and expedite prevention, and schools as a microcosm of the broader community. In phase 2, 6 vignettes were crafted to amplify nuanced, in-depth experiences. The synthesis of the findings in phase 3 concluded with the conviction of the educators that their schools strove to embrace diversity and eliminate homophobic victimization. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Ellis Moyo, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Teacher Perspectives on Learner Transitioning from the Foundation to the Intermediate Phase in Public Schools, prepared under my supervision, Nivensha Singh. In her thesis, the candidate examined the challenges and opportunities in transitions and learner performance. A successful transition hinges on the quality of teaching and its teachers, who are undeniably the most critical school resource. The study argues that poorly managed transitions into grade 4 classrooms can negatively impact academic development, and the role of teachers in guiding learners cannot be understated. Understanding how transitions affect learner performance is intertwined with the broader social and economic implications. Bronfenbrenner's ecological model informed teachers' perspectives on learners transitioning. The interpretive, constructivist approach was used in conducting case studies of 3 township schools with 24 participants. The findings in this study show that grade 4 transitions require all stakeholders to view learners as components of a system of interconnected and dynamically interacting aspects. The study therefore argues that if not appropriately managed, learners' transition into grade 4 classrooms may permanently affect their academic development. An examiner found that the hallmark of the study was from the inception of the thesis until the last page, one gets a sense that the candidate was well equipped and chaperoned to execute this research in a scholarly manner, which made the reading of the thesis very interesting, apart from being insightful and provoking reflective thoughts. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Matilda Kanyapa-Nakwaze, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled The Experiences of Geography Teachers of a Teacher Program, Preparation Program at the University of Zambia, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate attempted to understand the geography teacher preparation program offered at the University of Zambia using the pedagogical content knowledge and self-efficacy theories as a theoretical framework. Using a qualitative research approach in the interpretive paradigm, attributes considered ideal in geography teacher preparation, which offered a positive student-teacher experience and a higher self-efficacy upon employment, were established. The study highlights the needs for institutions of higher learning to ensure the provision of ideal teacher preparation programs and program assessment to ensure that effective teaching and learning occur in secondary schools. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Zelda Pollard, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, with a thesis titled Applying Life Design Counseling to Young Adults Experiencing Unmastered Developmental Tasks, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate investigated the impact of an adapted life design intervention on the unresolved, unmastered psychosocial, interpersonal, and occupational developmental tasks faced by young adults. A qualitative mixed methods intervention case study approach was employed, featuring identical pre- and post-intervention data collecting phases and a life design counseling intervention. Post-intervention, most participants experienced demonstrable, observable educational psychological changes regarding their psychosocial development tasks, enhanced metacognitive abilities, increased self-awareness, but also overall well-being and an enhanced capacity to identify external factors that influence their psychological well-being and career trajectories. Future research could investigate the mechanisms involved in navigating unresolved, unmastered developmental tasks, but also the role of significant others and technology in psychosocial development. It could also assess the effectiveness of life design interventions across different contexts, online but also in person, of course with diverse populations. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Mpho Seklahlehu, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Developing and Validating a Vocational Classroom-Based Assessment Questionnaire, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate developed and validated a classroom-based assessment questionnaire for the vocational food and nutrition teachers, which will also apply to other vocational subjects and the broader educational community. An exploratory, sequential, mixed methods design was used in the study. The exploration and qualitative strand of the study explored and identified the main characteristics of an effective classroom-based assessment, which were used to design questionnaire items. The findings from this qualitative phase were used as a build-up for the quantitative phase of the study, which tested and validated the questionnaire items. Piloted results were analyzed and evaluated using the Raj measurement model, and there was enough evidence of reliability and validity of the newly designed instrument to be used by vocational subject teachers in schools. The questionnaire serves as an intervention that teachers can use to measure and communicate their classroom assessment practices and challenges for improvement. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Thank you.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Amel van Rooyen, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Building Blocks of Foundation Phase Educational Robotics Teacher Training Across Digital Divide, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the training of visionary, confident, and proficient educational robotics teachers was explored. This qualitative action research study employed appreciative inquiry as a research strategy to explore the processes and building blocks of teacher training aimed at foundation phase educational robotics. This training for pre- and in-service teachers was anticipated to occur across different contexts associated with the digital divide. The study gathered data from interviews, observations, documents, field notes, and reflective journals from front-runners in the educational robotics field. Through the lens of the model of digital technology access associated with the digital divide and the technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge framework, the data were inductively analyzed to identify 54 teacher training building blocks, and the study makes 11 contributions that explore teacher training design, as well as tools and activities associated with educational robotics. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Providence Warinda, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Development of a Transformative Education Model for Improved Community-Based Tourism in Zimbabwe, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate investigated stakeholder perceptions of community-based tourism and assessed whether the bachelor's level tourism curricula adequately cover it. Using the sustainability, transformative learning, and decolonization theories with a mixed methodology, The study identifies significant gaps in curricula, including a limited focus on sustainability, reliance on Eurocentric frameworks, and an under-evaluation of Indigenous knowledge. These shortcomings hinder graduates' ability to develop and manage CBT initiatives effectively. The study advocates for decolonizing tourism curricula by integrating Indigenous perspectives, fostering inclusivity, and addressing power dynamics. It proposes a heritage-based curriculum and includes a dedicated community-based tourism module supported by transformative pedagogies like experiential, research-based, and problem-based learning. A six-pronged transformative education model has been developed, emphasizing CBT education, partnerships, community engagement, collective action, and capacity building. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, I introduce to you Tinovimbo Zu, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Euclidean Geometry Learning Opportunity in Further Education and Training Mathematics Textbooks, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, Euclidean Geometry Learning Opportunity in Future Education and Training Mathematics Textbooks, the candidate investigated Euclidean Geometry Learning Opportunity in 3 FET Mathematics textbook series, focusing on their alignment with the curriculum and assessment policy statement, the level of geometric thinking they promote, the representational forms, contextual features, and the nature of expected responses. The findings revealed notable shortcomings, including misalignment with the curriculum and overemphasis on calculation and operational tasks, formal deductive reasoning, mixed forms of representation, non-application of context, and closed answer formats. These insights offer valuable guidance for teachers, textbook developers, and policymakers, aiming to enhance the teaching and learning of Euclidean geometry. Madam Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate.
Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education. Nomfundo Brugwe. Franklin Date. Krause Maponya. Sifiso Mngadi. Ngatheni Nkomo. Lungile Zondo. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all requirements for the degree Master of Education, specializing in assessment and quality assurance in education and training. Indi Skosana. Sepiso Tibedi. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education specializing in Curriculum and Instructional Design and Development. Busisiwe Yabo. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education, specializing in Education Management, Law and Policy. Tandegile Kambule. Neo Letsatsi. Duduzile Nkosi. Christian Smith. Petras van Niekerk. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education specializing in Education Leadership. Kanishka Mangal. Kiabetswe Mohapi. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all requirements for the degree Master of Education in Educational Psychology. Carmen Duplessis. Margaret Mabonga. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education Honors in Curriculum and Instructional Design and Development. Michelle Adams. Janet Molefe. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the postgraduate diploma in technical and vocational education and training. Sidwell Kumalo. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education in Foundation Phase Teaching. Ndogozo Mtetwa. Demone van der Berg. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education in Intermediate Phase Teaching. Tembelihle Giani. Busisiwe Khoza. Lesego Masike. Sanelisiwe Mtsweni. Phumeza Mzayiwa. Humphrey Ngobeni. Bayanda Ngubane. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education in Senior Phase and Further Education and Training Teaching. Shane Barriers. Candice Fagude. Mnakwena Khadima. Motlatso Make. Lisego Mabocha. Mphohlo Makhubele. Anton Monaswe. Thembelihle Mbokazi. Kwena Mphathi. Kuvashni Naik. Utricia Ndobe. Sihle Ngongo. Nicholas Shongwe. Claudia Teixeira. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the postgraduate certificate in education in further education and training. Nompilo Mkhize. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the Advanced Diploma in School Leadership and Management. Odwa Baba. Henriette Bandehorst. Thomas Basin, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Dolly Buthelezi. Ronald Shavango. Rekhanzu Chawani. Alex Cronier. Faith Dagile. Puleng Dladla. Tandi Dube. Zebion Kharerokufa, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Sbongo Gumbi. Hazel Shope. Tsakane Hlungwani. Lise Jansen, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Begani Kajwa. Julia Kekana. Madimecha Kekana. Gwyneth Khoza. Mokhaechi Kotsa. Sylvia Goma. Margaret Kochani. Matule Ledwaba. Sinhlele Kuleni, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Shelley Likoto. Matlaku Lisesa. Mashudu Lukeli. Hassani Mabaso. Nonhlanhla Mabaso. Wilfred Mabunda. Jane Mabuza. Pinky Mabuza. Ophelia Madibu. Mamoraka Mahwai. Mzwakhe Mahlangu. Nonsigelelo Makafola, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Selina Makubela. Kibone Malejwe, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Nkateko Maluleke. Brenda Murray, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Vigizita Maseko. Nyumani Mashaba. Antoinette Mashejo. Daphne Mashego. Fredina Mashele, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Ngame Mashele. Jane Mashicho. Nongeba Mashila. Goodson Mashilo. Josiah Mashishi. Moyahabo Masia. Mdazi Masilela. Temba Masilela. Helen Masuku. Bongani Matebula. Alice Matlala. Sipho Machika. Ndicheni Mavungu. Fortunate Mbuli. Nonkululeko Mdlalose. Tsegofatso Menkgwe. Terry Ngwenya. Nonsikelelo Mhlanga. Nomzamo Mkhabela. Siphiwe Mkhabela. Martha Mkhatshwa. Sibusiso Mkhatshwa. Thuli Mkhatshwa. Portia Mkhondo. Mandla Mkhondo, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Christina Makola. Busisiwe Mngomezulu, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Vincent Mnguni. Shakena Mnisi. Tobile Mdungwa. Manto Moachi. Elizabeth Moeketsi. Moni Mokhohlwane. Sila Mohlaka. Moruti Mohlala, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Makhosazana Moikanyane. Tiketso Mokwena. Jabu Mokwena, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Katsi Mokone. Doris Mnisi. Eva Molaoli. Shelley Molobi. Jeremane Monamola, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Sikamoto Mosetsa, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Lizzie Msiza. Shonisani Mokeli. Lofuno Mokwebo. Tiniko Munisi. Bulelwa Mxosana, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Buahani Nangambi. Shobisile Ngongwani. Rejoice Ndlovu. Lucius Ngobo, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Penwell Ngomani. Zinovia Nivot, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Zinhle Nkabinde. Yuzethainmam Ngao. Thandinkuna, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Paul Nobela. Gladys Nsangwani. Inet Nswani. Mahlele Nyati. Mangakane Pasha. Sharon Ramui. Lina Ratladi. Manache Saule. Moyahabo Sibate. Nomahlubi Sibele. Gladys Sechobela. Millicent Sikome. Thomas Sinonogi. Leah Setusha. Bongiwe Shekwa, advanced diploma obtained with distinction. Alex Shivambu. Tabiso Shongwe. Philip Sibia. Eddie Sibui. Bongiswa Sikonya. Mateke Silas. Esweta Sitole, advanced diploma obtained with distinction. Mahoni Sitole. Mpendulo Sitole. Tembinkosi Sitole, advanced diploma obtained with distinction. Patrick Siwele. Angeline Sikosana. Dolly Sono, advanced diploma obtained with distinction. Chwene Tanja. Mongezi Tobela. Lillian Twala, advanced diploma obtained with distinction. Esther Tibani, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Polite Tibani. Tabile Shabangu. Felix Zulu. Nobuhle Zulu. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the Advanced Diploma in Visual Impairment Studies. Ntetelelo Mhlongo. Lara Smith, Advanced Diploma obtained with distinction. Madam Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the Higher Certificate in Sport Science. Ronaldo Liana, Higher Certificate obtained with distinction. Tanaka Ndabambi. Khetsi Nkwana. Sanjin Ramnarain, Higher Certificate obtained with distinction. Hendrik Stefan, Higher Certificate obtained with distinction. Khatlego Tobejane. Cindy van Rooyen. Cornelius van Rooyen, Higher Certificate obtained with distinction. Edwin Foslu.
Can I ask all of our graduates to please rise? Let's give them a big hand of applause. Now, graduates, behind you and around you are the people that have supported you to get to this moment. Please turn to them and give them a hand of applause. And then lastly, behind me are the lecturers that have supported you to get to this moment. Please give them a hand of applause. We've now come to the end of the proceedings. Before we close, I wish to invite all present for liquid refreshments afterwards in the marquee in front of the Rembrandt Hall. You are requested to stand for the singing of the national anthem and to remain standing until the assembly has been dissolved and the academic procession has left the auditorium. The words of the national anthem will appear on the screens in the hall. Please rise. By the powers vested in me, I hereby dissolve this assembly of the University of Pretoria. Sir.